Biodiversity conservation is one of the most important tasks of our time. I mean, last year, December of 2022, 196 countries agreed to conserve 30% of our planet by 2030. United Nations declared this decade as the decade of ecological restoration. The problem, and I don't think many people know it, is that managing effective conservation programs is extremely challenging and difficult. You don't only need to live in very remote areas with access to very few commodities. You need to combine ecological science with political knowledge, psychological knowledge, organizational knowledge, almost anthropology, managing different cultures. The result of this is that there's a clear lack of professionals that have the experience, the knowledge to be very effective. So we need to increase the amount of people who are willing and able to manage effective conservation programs. The Effective Conservation Training Initiative comes as a way to answer this challenge, this problem. 4 conservation organizations working in Australia, Africa, Latin America, managing 30 million hectares of wild areas. Some of the most effective conservation organizations in the world, but even them, they have a shortage of these people. And this is a big problem because if we don't have the right people for the task, we are not going to have the right results. So the idea is to combine experiences, human resources, and identify young people working there or working as partners of these organizations and to train them and kind of bring them to the next level to become effective conservation leaders to manage complex programs and human teams. How we do this? We started with phase 1, which is, getting these guys who are working, they already in these organizations. So instead of taking them away from their works, like would be a typical graduate program, we work with them online. They just have to read a conservation manual called Effective Conservation that comes from many of these training courses for 2 decades, but it's designed for this. They read, they think, we connect online, we discuss issues, and that was, for me, it was already a very inspiring experience. Being on a screen with someone from Australia, another from Argentina, another from Rwanda, reflecting about what they have read, seeing their different perspectives, and just getting this feeling that these guys already know a lot, that was great. After this work for 3 or 4 months, they all come together to Zimbabwe, to Gonarezhou National Park, one of the best run parks in Africa, probably, and we start working together in very, very intensive sessions. First, we bring Jorge Gibbons, who is a specialist in training effective teams, someone who has worked for more than 3 decades in corporations, business, NGOs, and we work with them in those concepts. Then we bring people who have been themselves team leaders for several decades, people working in New Zealand, Latin America, Africa, very diverse people, so that these young conservationists can choose, different ideas. They come here, we have high quality conversations with them, in which they share their stories and their pearls of practical wisdom with these young conservationists. After 10 days of being together, which passed really, really quickly, what we have here is a network of young people connected in 3 different continents, but also them connected with the senior conservationists that can act as mentors in the future and guide them in their challenges. Also, the fact of working here in Gonarezhou National Park and being able to do game drives early in the morning, physical training with the rangers, that was incredible. Being in the right place, that also it was very important to create the right energy and inspiration. Right now, these guys are going back to their countries, to their programs, inspired, trained, and I think what we're doing is like equivalent to sending lots of seeds to different continents, from which I think some of the best conservation programs are going to flourish in the future.
I think the course has provided us a really good understanding of some of the challenges that face people in positions of leadership in conservation and has given us a lot of the skills that we might need to effectively lead teams to produce good outcomes.
One of the really amazing things about this course is that it brings together experience from around the world in an environment that is open and respectful to exchange ideas and foster collaboration.
I think being exposed to leaders who have such extensive experience in conservation globally has really opened my eyes to different perspectives and is really challenging me in being a better version of myself.
I believe we were like, 9 different nationalities in a room, everybody trying to understand how to do things better, how to become a better leader, how to bring what's best in us in order to provoke change.
For me, coming to Zimbabwe has been an amazing experience to interact with the trainees and the other presenters, to learn about conservation for myself, but also to impart the knowledge that we have in Australia on dealing with complex conservation issues.
It was very exciting to actually have the conservation leadership course members coming down to Gonarezhou, because it shows we are doing something right and the people are noticing and the world is willing to still learn from us. So it was very exciting and I really enjoyed having you guys down here.
It's been amazing coming to this training course because it's not like anything else I've experienced. You know, we're all mixing together from all over the world and there's so much experience here that's created an environment that's been really positive and amazing for everyone to be able to learn and connect and continue this journey.
I think one of the best things about this course is that they gave me the chance to get to know people that are spread around the world but that are working under the same goal of working in conservation for local development of communities.
This past 10 days was very inspiring because they helped me to get all the tools I needed to be a very good reader and to be successful in conservation career for myself and for our country and for our world.
It was incredibly inspirational for me. I'm very happy that I made that long trip and I see that as a great start of a program to build up the next generation of conservation leaders.
And this is a unique opportunity to bring young people with more experience and exchange information in a way that we empower each other, that we inspire each other, and we create like a network all around the world. Right now we have Australia, South Africa, South America.
For me, this course was a real game changer. Getting the opportunity to learn from really high-level practitioners from all over the world that are doing really good jobs in nature conservation gives us hope.
A experiência que eu penso que partilhei aqui a partir do Parque Nacional da Gorongosa é que a gestão de uma área de conservação basicamente tem que dar mais ênfase no desenvolvimento das comunidades.
So I think it's a very great initiative, bring people together, give our people an opportunity to share their knowledge but also benefit, get exposure, get a bit more polished and then come back into the organisation and take on leadership roles within African parks.